Hi, welcome. We're going to be discussing today about minute breathing with mindfulness. A lot of times when it comes to mindfulness, people view it as you have to do it a specific way for a specific amount of time, and that's not the case at all. And especially when people these days are so busy trying to manage everything about being at home and working with around kids and doing work, it can be really stressful that sometimes you don't have 5 minutes to really just be for yourself. So what one thing you can do is what's called a minute breathing. So that's just a time where you're able to just kind of be mindful of what's going on and just sit for yourself and think about what's going on in your own body and really just taking some deep breaths to help kind of calm yourself down.
And another thing to remember about being mindful and taking that minute to breathe is really just try to push everything out of your mind. Just be present with your own breathing. Feel the air filling up your lungs and feel the air going out of your nose or your mouth. And one thing also to remind yourself is there's no perfect way to be mindful. It's just really all about trying to feel what's going on in your mind, in your body, and we have a video that can explain a little bit more about mindfulness and how you can use mindfulness in everyday situation.
Also, before we start the video, which will help show you, is you can do this minute breathing anywhere you are. So you can be and not doesn't have to be noticeable, but you're able to do it really anywhere.
You may have heard this word mindfulness. It's become something of a buzz phrase of late. I'm going to give you one simple, serviceable definition, which is this. Mindfulness is the ability to know what's happening in your head at any given moment without getting carried away by it. Imagine how useful this could be. Just as an example, driving down the road and somebody cuts you off in traffic. How do you normally react? I think most of us, we normally react by having a thought, which is, I'm pissed. And then what happens next? You immediately, habitually, reflexively inhabit that thought. You actually become pissed. There's no buffer between the stimulus and your reaction. With just a little bit of mindfulness, in that same situation, you might notice my chest is buzzing, my ears are turning red, I'm having a starburst of self-righteous thoughts, I'm getting angry. But you don't necessarily have to act on it and chase that person down the road, screaming at them with your kids in the back of the car, thinking you've gone nuts. Now, you might be thinking, don't I need to get angry sometimes? Aren't I justified? I would say yes, but probably not as much as you think. The proposition here is not that you should be rendered by mindfulness into some lifeless, non-judgmental blob. The proposition is that you should learn how to respond wisely to things that happen to you rather than just reacting blindly. And that, my friends, is a superpower. How do you get it? The way to get it is through meditation. I believe that meditation and mindfulness are the next big public health revolution. In the 1940s, if you told somebody you were going running, they would have said, who's chasing you? But then what happened next? The scientists swooped in, they showed that physical exercise is really good for you, and now all of us do it, and if we don't, we feel guilty about it. And that's where I think we're headed with mindfulness and meditation. It's going to join the pantheon of no-brainers like brushing your teeth, eating well, and taking the meds your doctor prescribed for you. Let me just close by saying, mindfulness is not going to solve all of your problems. It's not going to render your life a nonstop parade of unicorns and rainbows. Nonetheless, this is a superpower and one that is accessible by you immediately.
So remember, when you feel that fuzz in your stomach, when you feel that your ears are getting hot or maybe burning already, just take a minute to breathe. Inhale really big and exhale. And please remember that counseling services are still available even through remote learning. Just make sure that you reach out to your school's administration and remember, Puck cares.